And we are live here for race number 8 of 29 here in the 1991 throwbacks. We're 7 races into the season and we only have 4 different winners. Rusty Wallace, yet again, coming away with a victory last week. And yeah, it's been pretty much a crazy season. Of course, we had Alan Kulwicki getting those fluke wins. We've got Alan Kulwicki getting those fluke wins, and he's currently on top, and he's still looking very good. Surprisingly, though, Mark Martin, second place in points. He's also been looking very good. Dale Earnhardt's also looked pretty good so far. Jeff Bodine, a lot of drivers have looked pretty good so far. So we're going to see what Martinsville is able to bring us. The paperclip, the half-miler. Or at least that's what I call it. Bristol's more of a super speedway short track. As weird as that sounds. On the pole, with his 4th pole of the year, Rusty Wallace continues to be on fire to begin this season. Good Lord, if this continues, Rusty's winning the championship. I don't see anyone beating him. Oh boy. Seriously, if this continues, Rusty wins that is the wrong laps. All right, I'm going to have to go fix that real quick. Stop. Anyways, welcome to race number 8 of 29 here in the 1991 throwbacks. Rusty Wallace is coming back off of his 3rd win of the season at North Wilkesboro, but he's also been massively inconsistent, so he's only 4th in the points. We've only had 4 different winners so far this year: Kulwicki, Wallace, Ricky Rudd, and Morgan Shepherd. That's it. Earnhardt and Martin, they said they wanted strong 1991 seasons after what you could say were disappointing 1990 runs. They seem to be doing pretty good. Allison is also up in the top 10 in points. He's having a good start to the season. Let's go to the track and we'll see who is able to get the pole here at the half-miler. The paperclip, the short track, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be, how about this qualifying order? Man, you know, qualifying always produces some interesting orders here at Martinsville. But man, the qualifying order, once again, really interesting. So let's take a look at it. So your top 10 is going to be Ricky Rudd on the pole. Brett Bodine in the number 75 is going to be on the outside pole for this race. And then we have Mark Martin in 3rd, Alan Kulwicki 4th. And we have Darrell Waltrip, all-time winning driver at Martinsville. And then we have Davey Allison in 6th. Tim Richmond in 7th. He's got several wins here at Martinsville. Rusty Wallace in 8th. Sterling Marlin, somebody who's known to be really fast on the big tracks. Well, here he is qualifying in 9th on the short track. And Bill Elliott, who rounds out the top 10 here in the starting order. Of course, with some of these surprise starters, we've got some people that are stuck way in the back. Here's the command. Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvin, and Ken Schrader are all going to have to climb back from pretty sizable deficits. Anyways, all they got to do is get through turns 3 and 4 here, and we're going to start this race. They come up off of turn number 4, and the green flag waves here from Martinsville. They all dive off into corner number 1, come off of 2. Looks like Ricky Rudd's going to have the sole possession of the lead to start off. And you can see Dick Trickle already diving off into pit road. And Ricky Rudd is going to lead lap number 1. Martinsville is such a difficult track. It is so hard on the brakes, so hard on the tires, so hard on all of the cars. It is a really, really big test of endurance. These guys are going to be slamming on the brakes 250 times today as they go from around 120 miles an hour on the straightaway to down to just 60 miles an hour in the corners. Of course, Martinsville, one of the slowest tracks on the NASCAR schedule. The only track that's slower on average is the Sears Point Raceway. Of course, that being a road course. We can see the field starting to get single file here. For the most part. We've got Ricky Rudd in the lead, Mark Martin second, Darrell Waltrip third, Tim Richmond fourth, Davey Allison fifth, Brett Bodine sixth, Alan Kulwicki falls back to seventh. Bill Elliott moves up to eighth. Kyle Petty gets inside the top 10 and ninth, and Rusty Wallace falls all the way back to 10th. Notice Earnhardt, despite having a little bit of a rough qualifying position, same thing with Ernie Irvan. They've hopped up through the field very quickly, already up to 12th and 14th, respectively. This is not a track that is very easy to pass at. We stated that Sterling Marlin, he had that excellent qualifying run. He's fallen all the way back to 16th already. So if you get on the wrong line here at Martinsville, it really hurts you. No doubt. And here we go. You saw Ernie Irvan there. He's trying to find a way around Morgan Shepherd here. That's for the roundabout the 13th, 14th position. That's the battle for 13th. Irvan swung out wide, trying to get something done. You can see Marlin also trying to get around Phil Parsons. That just did not work at all. And here we have Rob Moroso and Larry Pearson battling each other. Of course, Neil Bonnet coming off of that fantastic race at North Wilkesboro. Does not seem to have the car early on here at Richmond. He's stuck in 20th. As we look here, Kyle Petty, he's been shuffling back a few positions. He's back to 10th now, trying to fight his way back up. Anyways, now we've got Rusty Wallace. He's coming down here. He's going to the inside of the 7 car of Alan Kulwicki. It looks like he's going to get that position. He's going to get that position pretty handily, I'd say. There he goes. He's got it. So we look up front. Nothing much has really changed. It's still Ricky Rudd in the lead. Mark Martin second. Darrell Waltrip in third. But I imagine that Darrell Waltrip might have one of the better cars on the track. If we take a look at the fastest laps, the fastest lap so far turned today, at least in the first 14 laps, number 28. Davey Allison, the only person, is the only driver to exceed 91 miles an hour on the day. Rusty Wallace just turned his fastest lap of the race at a 90.7. Take a look at the fastest laps. The fastest lap, at least in the top 10, was by the leader there, a 90.68. And there, a 91.087 was just put up by Wallace. That is actually faster than what Davey Allison put down. So maybe Rusty Wallace actually has a very, very fast car today here at race day. He just turned the fastest lap of the race. Let's see what Alan Kulwicki can do here, trying to pull away from the 75. I imagine he's got a fast car, too. He's not pulling any kind of significant lap times. He's pretty much right at 90 flat, and that's 12th fastest at this moment. Meanwhile, battle to get into the top 10. Dale Earnhardt. Oh, contact there between Earnhardt and Kyle Petty. Petty tried to shut the door. Earnhardt just said no. I'm going to take that spot, thank you. And Earnhardt got it. So a little bit of contact already being shown here on lap number 20. Well, lap number 19, but about 20 laps in, we're already seeing big-time contact between these guys. Patience runs very thin at this track. Again, it's a very, very difficult track to pass at. And now we're already getting lap traffic as Dick Trickle goes a lap down. A third lap down, I would believe. Nope, just one. Guess he just got, I don't know what happened there, but I know he went on pit road on lap number 1. Guess he's only one lap down. Now, this race usually isn't determined on the track, isn't usually determined traditionally on the track, but how well you can deal with the lap traffic. That's usually when Martinsville starts to get really, really tight, because these 35 cars that are here today, they spread around the track very, very quickly. And it's very, very difficult to manage. You can see here, Rusty Wallace has really turned on the jets. He is already caught up to the 28 and the 25. So clearly Rusty Wallace with a very strong long-run car here. Davey Allison might be fast, but it might only be fast in the short runs. Plus, fast don't mean anything if you can't pass people. Right now, Davey Allison's been unable to. He's trying to. He gets to the quarter panel of the 25 there. Is he going to be able to make the pass? He's going to have to dive really hard into turn 3. Little contact there. I think Richmond realizes that the 28's going, and he's going to let him by here going into turn number 1. Yeah, Richmond could have easily battled him there. Just thought the best of it. No reason to drag out the battle. 28 is definitely the faster car right now. Now we got to watch Rusty Wallace. He's going to try to get around Tim Richmond here. He bumps him going into the corner. So Rusty Wallace is just like, oh, well, Davey Allison was taking it easy on you. I'm just going to move you right out of the way. Excuse me, good sir. You have something that I want. Your position. Man. And now you got to watch here who's faster between the 28 and the 2. I think the 2 is faster. And, well, maybe not, because you can see Davey Allison's pulling away. Right now, Ricky Rudd just expertly managing the lap traffic. You can see him going by Dale Jarrett there. And Ken Schrader, who's having yet another very, very strugglesome run. Meanwhile, we go a little bit further back in the field. Our outside pole sitter, Brett Bodine, he's faded a little bit to the 8th position, but you can't say he hasn't been doing terrible. He's only faded to the 8th position, and he doesn't have exactly the fastest car. 15th fastest in best times. He hasn't even cracked the 90-mile-an-hour mark, which is something that 14 drivers have done, including Terry Labonte and Kyle Petty. So those are all drivers that have cracked 90 miles an hour. Only 2 have cracked 91. Those are Rusty Wallace and Davey Allison. But Brett Bodine might not have the best car out there, but he's managing the lap traffic right, and he's staying ahead. He's keeping himself clean, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. Brett's obviously been around the sport long enough to know what he needs to do to get the job done. He doesn't have any career wins. He came very close, very, very close to winning the Daytona 500 a couple of years ago, but he wasn't able to pull it off. He got passed on the last lap. His brother, Jeff Bodine, ended up winning. I believe Brett finished 4th in that race. And man, what does it mean to get hounded by a couple of multi-time NASCAR champions when you're Brett Bodine? You're somebody who hasn't won a race, and you can see Bodine's getting passed by Elliott here. You haven't won a race in your career, and in your mirror, you have 2-time champion Bill Elliott and 3-time champion Dale Earnhardt. And meanwhile, you have Kyle Petty. He hasn't won a race since 1986. A very, very long winless streak for Kyle Petty. He got his first career win with the Wood Brothers in the number 7 car at Talladega. It was the last Talladega race to be ran without restrictor plates. Everyone knows what happened in that race, so it's kind of a hush-hush thing that Kyle Petty won it. But Petty won it. And not too many people remember that. One thing I can tell you, well, Brett Bodine just got passed by his brother Jeff there. And contact between Morgan Shepherd and Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt goes way up the track. But one thing that I can tell you is that, whoa! Once again, there's more stuff going on. Cars are scattering all over the place. There's some smoke on the front straightaway. This car's got really loose going through turn 4 there. I don't know if there was oil down on the track. And now we got the pace car here stopping. So we have our first caution of the day. Anyways, what I'm just trying to say is that Rick Mast has more career wins than Kyle Petty. So what happened here on the front stretch? I'm guessing it was Ted Musgrave. I'll have to find out. See here. Little contact there by the 17. Musgrave goes around. That's it. He was able to get it refired, and the caution ends up coming out. So Musgrave getting a little hazing by the veteran Waltrip there. You can see now some of the lap cars that need a pit on the back straightaway. They're going to slow down. We'll see what the running order is like after pit stops. Well, Neil Bonnet, I think, is on the tail end of the lead lap. I'm not. Whoa, what's going on here with Sterling Marlin? He's in a little bit of a hurry. Not quite sure what's going on there. But in any event, he got into the back of Ricky Rudd's car real good, so we'll see if that ends up affecting anything here for Ricky Rudd. Front of Sterling Marlin's car doesn't look too bad. Of course, this is Martinsville, and there isn't a single car out there that's going to be leaving this place without a single scratch. Martinsville being the very rough and tumble course that it is. You can see all the lap cars lining up on the inside. So Neil Bonnet is going to lead these guys down to the green flag, but the leader of the race is the 26, Ricky Rudd. All those guys there are on the tail end of the lead lap. And the pace car goes down, and the green flag is back out here at Martinsville. Who's going to be able to get to the bottom first? That's always a good question, and it looks like it's going to be Ricky Rudd. And oh man, they're going four abreast back here. Problems potentially going on. Cars are all over the place. Everyone jockeying for position. Everything's so tight here, and nobody is giving an inch. Man, you'd swear you're watching a Talladega race here for a second. Good Lord. And there's still 3 abreast here as, oh, Jeff Bodine drives it in so deep he gets on the grass. Man, very, very tight racing going on there. They're still 3 wide. Finally, the pack settles down at least a little bit here in the back. Going up towards the front. Guys are still struggling to find the bottom. Davey Ellison just went underneath everyone to make it 3 wide. And Ricky Rudd just snaked through that entire pile up there of cars. So with that move, Rudd is going to actually take away, try to take off with the lead. Meanwhile, you can see Darrell Waltrip there. He just moved the 28 car right back out of the way. It's like, who do you think you are? And there he goes, 3 wide. And there goes Allison. Yep. Right around everyone. And now here comes Dale Earnhardt. He's going to try to take advantage. And they're still going 3 wide as Eddie Bierschwell is in the sucker hole there. Good Lord. I'm surprised nobody's wrecked yet. Everyone trying to find the bottom, trying to find spots. Rusty Wallace might be shuffled all the way out of the top 10 on this. Just to show you have one bad corner. You get stuck on that high line, you're going to the back. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd up front, he's gone. Oh, yeah. 3 wide for position. Morgan Shepherd trying to eke his nose underneath there. Couldn't get it done. Earnhardt boxed in by the lapped car of Jarrett. And he's going to lose that position to Bill Elliott. Rusty Wallace back on the bottom. He's trying to work forward. Everyone's still in lap traffic. This race has been just run at a very, very frantic pace from the start. And there we go. Alan Kulwicki goes underneath Dale Earnhardt, and it looks like Tim Richmond's going to get around Dale Earnhardt here. That'll shuffle Dale Earnhardt to the 10th position. I don't know if Rick Mast will be able to get close enough to capitalize. Does not seem he will. No, he does. Yep, there he goes. So Mast is now underneath Earnhardt, and Earnhardt's just in a bad position. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd has been all alone, free of all this garbage. He's way up front of everybody. And he put down the fastest lap time of anyone out there, too. He's consistently running 91-mile-an-hour laps. So not only is he putting down lap times, he's also the fast, he's also well ahead of any of the lap traffic. So he's the fastest car out there, too. Sterling Marlin, well, he did start 9th. Now he's 25th, 1 lap down. We do still have 21 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, Neil Bonnet. Davey Ellison trying to find a way around this slapped car of Rob Moroso. Proving to not be an easy task. We go back in the field a little bit, and this race is still being ran at a frantic pace back here. Tim Richmond trying to get around Alan Kulwicki. That'll be for the 8th position. Rick Mast unable to capitalize. Earnhardt trying to get around Rick Mast. That'll put Earnhardt up into 10th if he can get that spot. Mast really driving, not Rick Mast. I'm sorry, that's Phil Parsons. Phil Parsons in the 1. Rick Mast is in the 8. There's Rick Mast. Hiya, how you doing? Great, fantastic. Phil Parsons is trying to get around Dale Earnhardt. Phil Parsons in the 1. So Phil Parsons, he's still, There's a 15 of Morgan Shepherd. He'll get around Dale Earnhardt. So Morgan Shepherd goes all the way up to 11th. And then Earnhardt bumps him out of the way, trying to get the spot back. Oh, Dale. We all love you. Kulwicki not having as good of a run as he probably wanted. And now it looks like Mark Martin is really starting to fade. Jeff Bodine's trying to get around him here. So Jeff Bodine, one of the things he really did last year is that he would always bring terrible cars to the track, but then he would always fight up into the top 5 or top 10 and really show a good performance throughout the race. A lot of veteran tenacity. is, of course, Jeff Bodine's last year in his contract with the 11 team. So it's really unknown who's going to take over the 11. Nobody really knows right now. It's a big question mark in 1992. There were a lot of question marks in a lot of places because Martin's contract's up, Elliott's contract's up, Jeff and Brett Bodine's contracts are up. And we have a lot of drivers that could be changing positions next year. I just know that Ricky Rudd, he ain't going anywhere anytime soon. No, Ricky was given the opportunity, you know, if he wanted to leave the 26 team, he could have, but no, he did not want to leave the 26 team. He thought that this 26 team was just on the cusp of breaking out. And man, he's shown it so far this season. He's done very, very well in the 26 car. He could very easily get win number 2 here. Be a pretty big statement. Well, he's got the lead by almost 1/3 of a lap. It's kind of ridiculous, actually, how fast Ricky Rudd is. He's up by 6 seconds over second place Davey Allison. Well, to give you an idea here, go to our stalling camera here coming out of turn number 2. There's Ricky Rudd. And you gotta wait for a little bit. And there's Davey Allison. So that gives you an idea just how big of a lead Ricky Rudd right now has on the 28 machine. 6 seconds is just massive. Whatever adjustments that they did to that 6 car during the caution period, they did not work. No. No, they didn't. They tried to make it work. It didn't. It really, really didn't. Elliott, yep, they're going down to the inside here. That'll put Elliott up in the top 5. See if he can get it done here. Parsons still up in the top 10. He's doing really well. And there goes Elliott. Phil Parsons is another one that'll have to go find a new ride for 1992. It's like all these guys are all over the place. Ernie Irvin not having a good day. Brett Bodine, your outside pole sitter, 15th. And Kyle Petty, who was in the top 10 in lap times, now he's in 11th. He's in 17th, so they also made a negative adjustment. Boy, Ricky Rudd is just putting people a lap down. 18 cars remain on the lead lap as Ricky Rudd is really, really gapped the entire field, to say the least. He leads by pretty much the full front straightaway, which is kind of ridiculous to think about it. That is just an extremely long distance to have a lead by. You can see maybe Davey Ellison, maybe he's starting to fall off. I don't know. What I do know is that Mark Martin is really starting to fall off of a cliff here as he is now getting passed by the 25 of Tim Richmond. Yeah, Richmond just went right around him. Good Lord. It's been real difficult for that 25 team. You know, they seem to have a good car early on. They faded a little bit. They just got around the 6, which is even having an even more difficult time. Really, I think unless your name is Rudd, Allison, or Waltrip, you are not having a good time today. Yeah, that's pretty much spot on too, because well, I don't know. Jeff Bodine is really someone who's turned on the Jets here in the second half of this race. They got to lap 60, and I'll tell you what, this number 11 car's really come alive. Now, it's, of course, these guys' job to try to cut through all this lap traffic that Ricky Rudd has already cut through, and Rudd just continues to make the gap larger. There goes Hutch Strickland a lap down. And now, man, there's the tail end of the lead lap right there. Allison, Waltrip, and Jeff Bodine have essentially cut through most of the lap traffic now, but the gap is really evident to Ricky Rudd, an almost 7-second advantage at this point. What you're watching here is the second place car, second place car Davey Allison, and the third place car Darrell Waltrip. Gap just went over 7 seconds. Oh, is that going to be... Waltrip's going to try to sneak on through. Here comes Waltrip for the second position. I think he's got it. I think Waltrip's going to get it here. And no, Allison's going to dive down here in turns number 1 and 2. Oh, does this benefit? Number 11, Jeff Bodine. He's right there. Of course, it really doesn't matter for Rudd right now. These guys aren't going to be getting up to the leader. No, and I think they're realizing this. Without a caution, there's no hope of catching Ricky Rudd. His advantage is now 8 seconds over these guys now that they're battling. So it's just not going to happen. Now Darrell Waltrip slips up the track, who slides in. Number 11, Jeff Bodine, trying to get the third spot away. Oh, Bodine drove it in real deep there. Derek Cope also on the high lane. That's going to cut off any momentum that the 17 might have had coming off the turn. And that's really going to give the advantage to Bodine, and it does. Jeff Bodine will come off of turn number 4 with the third position. Now, with a pit stop on lap number 40, we should be getting one more stop in this race, if I recall. Yeah, we should be. I don't think that these drivers can make it all the way. Just looking further back in here, and you can see now Earnhardt has fought his way back into the top 10. He's worked his way up to 9th with the 8 of this lap traffic. And someone who has not benefited from it, Phil Parsons. He's really struggled. He's fallen back to 11th. For a second there, Earnhardt just looks so much faster. Crazy thing is that we only have to back up a little bit. Whoa, there's Morgan Shepherd coming back on the track. Where's the leader? Ricky Rudd, right there, number 26. So there's your leader of the race, as we're pretty much just waiting for him to pit now. He's got an 8-second lead, a little bit less than an 8-second advantage over Davey Allison right now in the 28. See Ken Schrader going down to pit road. And here you can see second, third, and fourth place respectively. The 28, the 11, and the 17. I mean, this isn't the best. This isn't the only battle for position that's going on right now, of course. Well, maybe it is, because everything else is really being tightly contested for in lap traffic. Here's the battle for 9th position here between Dale Earnhardt and Alan Kulwicki. There's Ricky Rudd. He's right there. Ricky Rudd looking to have one of the most dominating wins that we've seen in Martinsville in quite some time. Of course, Rudd has won at Martinsville before, and I think Rudd hit pit road. And yes, Rudd did indeed hit pit road along with Darrell Waltrip. So now your leader of the race is going to be Davey Allison. He's going to get 5 bonus points here. There's the 26. And the caution flag is out. Big break there. Huge break. I think some of these guys still need to race back to the line. Whoa. Slow cars everywhere. But I can pick the right lane. Now we got to figure out who is scored where. Ricky Rudd is scored as the leader. Derek Cope is scored in second place. I don't know how that ended up happening, but apparently Derek Cope is scored in second place. Well, there you go, folks. Derek Cope is scored in second place. We have Jeff Bodine in third. Davey Allison fourth. Bill Elliott fifth. Darrell Waltrip falls all the way back to sixth. Or at least Sterling Marlin was in sixth, though I'm guessing he's going down pit road now. And there goes the 10 of Derek Cope down pit road. So, okay. So here's what our top 10 is going to be. It's going to be Ricky Rudd. We're going to get a double file restart here, too, with like 19 to go. So Ricky Rudd is going to be your leader. Second place is going to be Jeff Bodine. Third is going to be Davey Ellison. Fourth, Bill Elliott. Fifth, Darrell Waltrip. Sixth, Morgan Shepherd. Seventh, Phil Parsons. Eighth, Rusty Wallace. Ninth, Brett Bodine. And 10th, Jimmy Spencer. Pace car's just been given the 1 to go. And the cars are going to line up. So Derek Cope, Sterling Marlin, they're back on the lead lap thanks to that pit strategy that they pulled. 17 cars are on the lead lap. First car lap down is going to be the number 21 of Neil Bonnet. Pace car dives down on the pit road, and the green flag is out, and you know Bonnet's going to be racing for that lap back. Boy, this is going to really test whether Ricky Rudd's going to be able to hold this lead or not. And it looks like, yes, he will. He's going to be able to get to the bottom here, and nobody else will be able to. Bill Elliott's able to get to the bottom, but I don't think he's fast enough. Meanwhile, Jeff Bodine, second place. This is going to be time for Bodine to really show what he can do. Yep. Like I said, that car really came alive around the second half. And I know he's got a very fast car there. Davey Allison starting to fade a little bit. He's back to fifth. And Jeff Bodine forcibly forcing Hutch Strickland out of the way. Some heavy contact there. Jeff Bodine wants a shot at the win. There's no question. He wants the win. He wants to go up. He wants to get that 26 car. He's coming for Rudd. Well, it's like, Ricky Rudd, you got yourself a 6-second lead, 7-second lead, 8-second lead. Well, now you got yourself a half-second lead. And closing. Jeff Bodine may be faster here. Is he fast enough to make a pass on the 26 car? Bodine just posted his fastest lap of the day, and another fastest lap of the day as he just put over 91 miles an hour, and the caution is out. Good Lord, Hutch Strickland spinning out to avoid hitting the pace car. And oh, good Lord. What an untimely caution. Alan Kulwicki. Yeah, he just got turned around. You'll watch it here. Yeah, he gets shoved down by Brett Bodine. He's got no line to take. He goes over the curb. He spins. Takes Jimmy Spencer with him. Caution out. This will be a single file restart too. And the 12 car is going to be around the 17. Interesting scoring decision there by NASCAR. But they're going to put the 12 in front of the 17 there, so this is really going to be a 10-lap shootout between Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd. Yeah, and it's going to be a shootout too. No lap traffic is going to get in the way here. It's just going to be Jeff Bodine, Ricky Rudd, 10 laps. Who's the fastest? If you take a look at just fastest lap times, Ricky Rudd is faster, but Jeff Bodine he put up an identical time to what Davey Allison put up earlier in the race. Got to think about the championship point implications right now after that spin by Alan Kulwicki. He's not going to finish much better than, say, 13th. And he'll even be lucky to gain 4 positions in 10 laps. Looks like we're going to be restarting this race with 9 laps to go. Hold on to your seats, folks. This is going to be a crazy one. Lights are off on the pace car. Restart is within 10 laps to go, so no lap traffic is going to restart on the inside lane. You got to figure that either Jeff Bodine's going to be hanging back or Ricky Rudd's going to be somebody's going to be hanging back on this start. Anything to just get that little bit of an advantage here coming off of turn number 4. And the green flag is back out. Bodine went for it in turn 1. Did he get the bumper to him? Not quite. Bodine's not going to let Rudd go away that easily, that's for sure. He is right there coming off of turn number 4. He's going to try to dive down into turn 1 again. He puts the bumper to him, but it's not going to be enough to get Rudd out of the way. Man, it is so close. He is right there on the back of the 26. And it looks like Ted Musgrave slides coming out of pit road. Is that going to be another caution? Yes, it will. Oh, no. You can see all sorts of cars are involved here. But you're going to see here that the 55, he goes down pit road, stops real quick, comes back out. And oh, the 12 car is just in the way. Oh, Sterling Marlin slides up in front of Dale Earnhardt as well. That's the other really huge contact there. Otherwise, everyone is going slow once again. The tension that's getting built up for this final restart is going to be insane. We have 6 cars all in a line here that are on the lead lap. Yep, we've got Rudd, Bodine, Elliott, Allison, Waltrip, Morgan Shepherd. They're all on a line here. Kyle Petty has somehow found his way back into the top 10. Five to go. So that means that best we get this thing restarted with 3 to go. And I think we're probably going to get restarted with 2 to go. You hear that, Bodine? You have 4 shots at Ricky Rudd's lead. At best, he's going to have 6. Can you feel it, man? Can you feel it? Yeah, he's going to have 4 shots. We're going to get a restart with 2 laps remaining. Dale Earnhardt went down pit road. I'm not 100% sure why. But all that's going to do is hurt his finishing position. Did that put Earnhardt a lap down? That's going to put Earnhardt 2 laps down in the 25th position. Good Lord. Clearly problems with Dale Earnhardt. All right, 3 laps to go right now here at Martinsville. The 1 to go signal is back up. And the next flag is going to determine the winner of this race. Pretty much. Well, obviously not the white flag, but either the checkered flag or the yellow flag is going to determine the winner of this race. Pace car dives off into pit road. Will it be Rudd, Bodine, Elliott, or somebody else coming to the line? Green flag is back out. 2 laps to go. Look at the jump by Jeff Bodine as he dive bombs into corner number 1. He's going to try to take the lead away from Rudd here right off the bat. A lap and a half left. Does Rudd have anything left to try to combat Jeff Bodine? Is Bodine going to clear him here? Comes off of turn 4. Yes, he does. White flag. Jeff Bodine is in the lead. Good Lord. What a restart by Jeff Bodine. Rudd's only going to have 1 more shot at him. He's going to have to really dive it in deep, but I think Bodine's gapped him enough. It's going to be enough. Jeff Bodine's going to come off of turn 4, and he's going to win the Haynes 500 here at Martinsville. What a move to cap off this race. What an incredible jump by the 11. Jeff Bodine just caught us all off guard. That was a fantastic move. Wow, what a finish. Incredible race. And we can see now that Jeff Bodine, he goes up to 3rd in points with that win. Ricky Rudd is also moving up here. Rusty Wallace staying in 4th. Alan Kulwicki staying in the points lead. And Mark Martin clinging on to 2nd place. Meanwhile, there are tons and tons of other moves that have happened. As the, at least early on here through 8 races, there's really no clear-cut dominator. I mean, except maybe Rusty Wallace, but he might need to get a little bit more consistency. Ricky Rudd has now led more laps than anyone else in this season. Man, what a way to cap off that Martinsville race. What a restart by Jeff Bodine. We're going to see you next time at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Winston 500.